wrong buttons.
Yay!
Because I pushed the wrong button. I pushed the closing credits button, not the opening credits button. That's all right. We'll just go without opening credits. Who needs them?
Well, we could still hit the opening credits one.
We could just sit here and dance.
Ah!
There we go. I feel like only half a man. So somewhere along the line, it has decided to do this fill the screen thing with this one, and it changed it. It's making its aspect ratio very weird.
Huh.
I can fix it by doing something more like this. That's
Yeah, I see what you're saying, because it's like cut off. Oh, well.
Yeah, it's cut off stuff, which means that we won't be able to use this as much anymore. That's why I switched to this one. Is because this one, which is what we used to use, is fine, but they trimmed things. The aspect ratios are weird.
Yeah.
So this one's better now.
That's weird.
Yeah, my ass is weird.
That's not natural.
That's not natural, but Oak Express is. So I had this idea, and I want to draw it real quick, which was to include David.
I'm here.
David!
That's why I included it.
What's up, guys?
How's it
Hey,
going?
David.
Living it up.
Living the dream, doing the do.
If you mean dream, if by dream you mean nightmare, then yes.
David, you worry me. All right. Let's just get down to work. Get down to tacks that are brass. Do you know where brass tacks are? They're the things they hold carpet in with. Which is why when you say, let's get down to brass tacks, what you're really saying is strip all the carpet out. So you're down to the tacks that hold the carpet in.
That sounds painful.
Right? But that's what that phrase comes from. So there's your little bit of information for the day.
The more you know.
Right? Okay, so I had this idea of doing a comic with Snoopy on top of the Artemis, sitting on top of the Artemis. Because
isn't that copyright?
Probably, but I'm not going to sell it. I'm just going to make it. So you can make it and not sell it, and that's fine. I'm just gonna post it because I think it's cute. So anyway, the reason was because, if you guys didn't know, they sent a Snoopy doll up with that last Artemis that just came back today in the Orion capsule.
Nice.
And so it was their 0G indicator. They've been doing this for the last couple of test flights to kind of, anytime there's no human on board, they put these stuffed animals on there. It's got sort of dual purpose. Primary purpose, of course, is that everybody loves the stuffed animal. It's cute. The secondary purpose, however, is the idea of showing whether it's in 0G or whether the gravity is wherever it is or whatever. You know what I mean? Like, that's sort of the idea.
Yeah.
So I was going to draw Snoopy on top of the Artemis, being a world famous Artemis pilot. So I think it'd be cute. So that's what I'm doing. I also
there you go.
Apparently draw Snoopy.
Is it over here? I think it was over here. Might have been. If I don't find it here soon, I'm just going to give up and... Yeah, I'm doom scrolling and I got better things to do.
Wait, you're doing what?
Doom scrolling.
What's doom scrolling?
That's when you just get on to like Facebook or something and then just keep scrolling and scrolling until you finally just hit your existential doom and hate life.
I mean, I already do that now though.
Right? So your dooms, that's what that's called. So the idea is GTFO, man. Stop. When you hit the point where you realize you're doom scrolling. Stop.
Well, what happens if your life is doom scrolling?
Yeah, well, that's a different thing. Can't help you there.
That's when you take strong assessments on what's going on in your life.
To this day, astronauts still call the cap that they wear the Snoopy cap. Because it's black and white like Snoopy. song is all about chihuahuas. Chihuahua.
Chihuahua. Chihuahua.
Chihuahua. Chihuahua. Chihuahua.
We are way too easily entertained.
Dude, we spent a good 30 seconds clicking on and off of whether I'm joining the show or not. Just saying. Chihuahua.
Chihuahua.
I love Snoopy.
Snoopy. Come home, Snoopy. Come home.
home. That was a little creepy.
Yeah. You can't tell our time period, can
Right.
you?
You know what era we grew up in.
Damn, I'm too young for that stuff.
Uh-huh.
Don't rub it in.
Wait, ain't I older than you, Brian?
Huh?
How old are you?
I'm 41.
Damn, I'm 39. I should know Snoopy too,
Yeah, you should be singing the Snoopy song with us.
but I'm not.
You're not.
Interesting.
Yeah, it makes me worry about you. Maybe you're technically a pod person. Is there a pod? Have you checked in your backyard?
I should.
Yeah, right? Because there could be a pod back there. Totally.
Like
In
how
which
many
case,
pods,
we'd be
though?
jealous.
That's true.
How many pods are we talking?
Well, just one. I mean, because you're the only one that's replaced, right? So, I mean, like, technically speaking, unless you think other family members are replaced too.
Mm.
Do you have any supposed brothers and sisters?
Right?
I have a sister.
Do you think she's been replaced?
Right. Has she been acting weirdly?
I don't know. I don't talk to her.
Oh, that's an issue. You won't know she's a pod then.
Okay. That's oddly reassuring.
Yeah. My sister has recently gotten into Star Trek a little bit, so I've been looking for pods.
You know what? Wait a minute. I know how to find that thing.
Sounds like it's like, here we go again with music talking to us.
Yeah. Chihuahua.
Chihuahua.
No pepper tonight, huh?
Not yet. Things could change at a moment's notice, though, so you never know.
And he generally doesn't join the night show.
Yeah, he usually does the day show. You're right.
Oh, damn. All right.
So, Guy, you know the anime Black Rock Shooter?
There's an anime called that? No, I don't actually.
Yeah. Well, do you know the song?
No, actually, I do not know the song either. You are speaking alien words to me again.
Okay.
That's what I knew of all the animes.
Do you know Miku Hatsune?
Hatsune Miku? Yes.
Yes.
Hatsune Miku. Mm-hmm.
Okay. One of the Vocaloid smash hits was Black Rock Shooter.
I see.
It was so popular, it actually spawned 3 different animes and several video games.
Holy crap. So I've been having a problem with the Vocaloids in general. So that's why. I mean, it's the auto-tuning that gets me. So
Understandable.
anyway, I am cognizant of the Vocaloids. I'm not necessarily following it.
Okay.
So I will go with you though on this. I understand where you're headed at least.
Yeah. So Disney Japan licensed a new Black Rock Shooter show.
Okay. I assume this is about like marbles and not like shooting people with a gun.
No, it's shooting people with a gun.
Okay. Okay.
That is Black Rock Shooter.
What the hell? Are they trying to mimic us because they feel left out on the whole not getting school shootings thing going on? What's going on here?
Anyways, the new anime is horrid. Like they've gone through the previous animes and picked out the parts they liked and the parts they hated without actually understanding any of the characters. Because they wanted that sweet, sweet merchandise. And then added these like trite things that are essentially tachikomas.
Okay. Now Tachikoma, I understand, from Ghost in the Shell.
Yeah. So think Tachikoma, the AI, the fun-loving AIs.
Uh-huh.
And that's the robots in control of their bikes. Because they wanted more of that vehicle money.
I see.
The only way I can put
Toys.
it's like they literally made an anime trying to sell toys.
Right.
And it's god awful. There's no soul to it.
Oh man, that's brutal.
It makes me wonder what. Well, no, I understand the industry well enough to go, no, this is right on par.
Right.
But still, it's like, oh, look, another American company is going to butcher anime because it doesn't understand it.
Yeah.
like one of the characters, he's sitting there, he's mourning, you know, he's talking about, oh, my wife and daughter died, and you know, I'm morose about this, and you know, I try not to let my feelings show. And then 30 seconds later, there's his daughter. And it's like, what? What? Why?
Hello, Brent.
Oh, is Brent out there?
Yeah.
Hi, Brent.
Good evening.
There's a lot of yelling on there. Hi, kid.
Ah! Chihuahua.
Good heavens. Yep, I agree. I agree, Bob. I agree that it's good that NASA's finally gotten over itself. There was and that NASA's, because see, NASA internally has always been fond of Snoopy. That hasn't changed. It's just that they wouldn't tell anybody, and you'd never hear about it. But there is a pin you can earn in NASA called the Snoopy pin. And it's just Snoopy. And it's when you have done something really, really good in the eyes of your fellow peers in NASA, you'll get this little silver Snoopy. It's about this big. It's a little pin. He's a lapel pin. You can see them when they're wearing the Snoopy. You know, they've done something good. They wouldn't let them do that anymore. The names of the ship had to be more dignified. You're right.
Bah. Oh, that didn't sound good.
Right?
Oh, I'm just modeling. Like war models.
Okay, I'm glad you clarified because I was gonna make a OnlyFans joke.
Again.
Yeah.
Well, if you're doing your modeling, at least, make money off of it, dude.
Yeah.
Oh no, David doesn't make money off anything.
This is the thing. I heard of a bink, but I didn't see a bink. Oh, that came from frickin' Restream, or not Restream, but from wherever.
From the music, we're being trolled.
No, that came from Midjourney out on Discord.
Oh, so it's on your end. Okay.
So that was one of those things, Bob, that I've noticed. I think what you're kind of alluding to, and I absolutely concur. Internally, they did all kinds of stuff where they referred to Snoopy. He was the unofficial mascot of NASA forever, and then in the late 80s, early 90s, he became the official mascot of NASA. Sort of that kind of thing, but it was a slow move. Snoopy was part of Charles Schultz helped them in the Apollo era to promote. They used Snoopy to promote. So it was sort of a thing where, it was what it was. But yeah, you're right. I like the fact that now they're not even apologizing. They're not messing with us at all. You okay?
The line keeps going thick on me.
I hate it when that happens. Mm-hmm. With apologies to Sparky, I'm bringing Snoopy in here, which I think is fine. I don't think Sparky would mind.
What is it doing?
Oh, hey, Brent. Your comics have been sent yet again. So this time they should make it just fine, because I actually went up to the counter and I had them do all of the stuff correctly and found out that you cannot send media mail from the self-serve kiosk, which is weird. Which was part of the reason why we got rejected the first time. So there you go. But that's the whole reason why Brent was my guinea pig on this one, was because if it screwed up, Brent would just nod and understand, as opposed to, somebody I didn't know who'd be like, Saturday. It was Saturday's post. But I went to the post office on Saturday, so along with 4,000 other people, it was pretty brutal. Maya wants you to know what she has sacrificed for you. She went with me.
I mean, it is a couple weeks before Christmas.
It is. And it was an experience and a quarter. That wasn't what I wanted to do.
What am I doing wrong?
What's going on?
I'm trying to do tones, but the tones are coming out funky.
Trying to paint the tones in?
Yeah.
Using like a tone brush? Because they look pretty good to me, but let me enlarge your frame so I can see.
Like, they don't look right.
They look square.
Yeah.
They look like a checkerboard.
And they should be circular.
Your dots should be round. Go check the tool and see if the dots are round.
Well, it says
circle, doesn't it? Yeah, it says it right circle. There. Is the resolution so low? I guess it's not. It can't be that low. I guess.
It's almost acting like they don't exist.
Yeah, that's a weird one. I don't know what's going on there. In a minute here, I'll power up my side so I can see what I got.
Oh, we've turned this setting off because you are not a subscriber to the new style.
Mm-hmm. Although they're not going to do that, I hear, which is good.
Yeah, they've been getting all kinds of flack about their various attempts to do things.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, even down to the AI stuff they're backing off of.
Yeah, although there is one AI thing I hope they don't back off of. And that's the AI shading.
Yeah.
Like
I said, I'm not against AI art, but right now it's not in a healthy position.
No, it's not. I'm just hoping they don't. That shading function was so cool, and I'm worried that they will zorch that shading function.
That's a good word, zorch.
Thanks. I'd love to say that I made it myself, but I think I picked it up somewhere. So, but I can pretend like I made it myself.
Good job, guy.
Thanks. Do my best. There's got to be something with the color mixing. Is that a white dot in the black?
Yes.
Okay, well, then we've got a dot one way. That's weird.
I mean, it doesn't look bad when you pull out.
That's what she said. I can't help it.
And yet, I still am not laughing at it.
Oh, I mean, when it comes to dad jokes, I don't think any dad legitimately expects here.
I don't know if that's what she said joke really typifies a dad joke, though.
No, I feel like that's more like a Geek Tank joke. Because you're right, that's not really a dad joke. Hey, George.
Though apparently it is a George joke.
Yeah, because we summoned George with the power of the bad joke. All right. just love the word quaff.
What?
No, waft is as bad as moist.
Quaff.
What's quaff?
Quaff is what you do to a root beer when you are Snoopy. You quaff.
Or a potion.
Yep.
See, that's nasty.
No, quaff. I feel like I could probably put in some zipatone. I agree. Let's put in some tone.
Because he doesn't want to be tone deaf.
See, now that's a dad joke right there.
It was definitely a dad joke. Dang it. Dang it. I keep forgetting the pieces that I want to tone and which ones I don't. So it's interesting because Can and I are right now doing two completely, he would not be alike a knot. Two different ways of toning that I find interesting.
What's up?
Said you and I are doing two different techniques of toning in clip.
Oh?
Yeah, because I'm doing the drag the tone onto the page and then cut like a zipatone. And you're doing it as a brush.
Yeah, I'm painting it on.
Yeah. I'm just saying we're doing two different techniques. And it's kind of cool. Schultz didn't put a lot of tone in his because it was a pain in the butt. So he didn't like to put tone in. But tone's pretty easy in clips, so here I am.
Yeah, I think that if he was in our times now, he'd be like toning the hell out of his pages.
He'd have so much fun with tone. Because I went looking. So I went looking for examples to see if he toned, and he did every so often. When he had a tree, he would tone the tree. Yep, well, that's one of my stupid human skills, is to be able to draw Snoopy, apparently. Who knew?
Okay, I like this page.
Hey, did you ever come up with the wand yet for what's her name?
Huh?
A wand for the chick that I'm drawing for your cover page?
I have not yet. But I will. Don't worry about that.
I believe you.
Schultz, yes. So to Bob Schultz, yes, he was. That's one of the things I absolutely adored about that guy, was the amount of effort he put in till his dying day. But Schultz is the reason why I know I never want to retire. I want to die with a stylus in my hand. Because he decided to retire, and then literally he died the day that his last comic posted. All right, I like this.
Okay, what do you think about this page, guy?
Let's put the page up front and center. See, I like that page. Zoom in a little so we can see the top and the bottom in different aspects, because it's only so much we can do, you know. Oh, I really like that page.
Yeah, it definitely pops.
It does pop. Is that water coming in? Or no, that's not water. That's her making mental connection. I get it.
Yeah.
It was just harder to read because of the resolution, not because of the... You transmit the information just fine.
I like the fact that the panel actually forms the connections.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too. No, that's I don't even know what to say about that. I just got a note that said that when the booger turns 13, I should be aware that he'll be able to turn off all of my monitoring stuff if he wants.
What are you talking about?
I just got a notice from Microsoft saying that when he turns 13, he can voluntarily turn off monitoring, so I can't monitor what he's watching or seeing anymore.
Oh yeah.
And then they keep saying that us parents have to monitor what they're seeing, and that's why we shouldn't have any kind of why everybody has to be free to see whatever they want on the internet because it's up to the parents to monitor. And I'm like, we can't monitor. You make it so that we can't monitor. Like, it's fine, but so it's like, just kind of have to get to the point where you're like, well, hope all's good. You know what I mean? It's like, so frustrating. It's just frustrating. It's difficult being a parent in the 21st century. You're expected to
At that
police.
point, you just gotta be like, yo, if you're gonna watch porn, just don't Bluetooth it.
Right.
And hit like the upstairs with it.
Yeah, no, actually, I mean, like, that's the thing. Like, I've had open rules about porn and stuff. It's primarily a don't treat women like you see in porn, and don't watch the really bad stuff unless you want to lose your innocence and childhood in a big freaking hurry.
No, that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about if you're gonna watch it, don't put it on Bluetooth and have it.
I know what you're saying. I'm saying that my house didn't have that. We didn't have that problem. So.
Oh.
Here we don't have that problem.
Well, shit, that'd be easy for you then.
No, it's not. The hardest part I've got is I'm trying not to have him learn or get jaded. That's what I'm trying to get. Is I don't want him jaded.
Jaded with what?
Just jaded in general about life. Like everybody's horrible and terrible. You watch
like me.
Yeah, sorta. You watch too many, cop procedurals and stuff like that, and it's like, God. I mean,
I'm definitely not a big fan of life, so. If there's one thing that I am, it's definitely jaded.
Yeah, well, and I mean, it's part of the problem I'm worried about. Like, after a while, people get so jaded about life and everything like that, and statistically speaking, it's not that bad. And the problem is that when you get inundated with news that's negative all the time and you're just hammered, it's brutal. And people are, and then people start reacting to it, and laws get made and things happen, and then people really do get smished and they really do get mad, and it's like, ugh.
Well, all you gotta do is tell him is, you know what? Don't be like David, and you'll turn out just fine.
You know, he really likes you. He really does. So you can just take a deep breath. He likes you a lot.
Well, that's good. It gives me the warm and fuzzies.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe I should adopt a kid. Just kidding. I live with my parents at 39.
Everybody has those days. Could be worse. I can't
Yeah,
live.
but I have 39 years of those days.
Yeah.
And
I recently they've been saying that it's now the days. I mean, I'm already accepting that this kid's going to be with me until he's in his 20s, because that's the norm. And back in the day, that used to be really normal. It was only World War II that changed so that you were out at 18. So it's only been since World War II that people have left at 18. Before that, they were leaving in their 20s or their 30s. And
Well, there's that wave of independence, or what do they call it? Individualism?
Yeah.
Well, that and also... Go ahead.
Oh, I was just going to say it's actually, they've been saying with the rise of the pricing of houses, now they're saying that it's becoming more and more normal for kids to stay at home into their 20s. So I'm bracing myself for that, you know, just kind of expecting that he'll be here with me until he's in his 20s, because he may or he may not, but honestly, I kind of like the guy, so you know, it's all right. I can
Yeah.
do it.
I kind of like the kid.
Yeah, I'm kind of fond of him.
You know, aside from his troubling anger issues, I think he's a good kid too.
He's getting over those.
Good. I don't know how nice I would have been if he would have cracked those computers at my house.
We're working it. We're
Wait,
working
I think I missed something here.
Oh, he was having some anger management issues. That's all. And he broke his school laptop. But he lucked out and swapped it out, and so far, we don't know for a fact, but so far, the school hasn't said anything about whether we owe them for it or not. So we'll have to see. I am.
Well, when
Hey,
I
guy,
start coming back on, you know, our drawing nights and stuff, if we ever have them again, it's good seeing the kid.
Yeah, we've been having them, and it's turned out now that we can't do Tuesdays anymore, so it's just Thursdays for us.
Well, what happened?
Oh, I'm going to be doing martial arts on Tuesday.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
Hey, guy, check your Facebook.
Crap. Okay. Oh, is that what you were talking about?
Yeah. See, the problem I have with it is it has no good flow. Like, you can really see the guy doesn't understand comics.
Yeah, but was this Holly that did this, or is this just Holly found something? As in the individual that's quoting this.
This is, I think Holly made this.
Okay. The only reason I say that is because
but there's no flow to this.
yeah, it doesn't even make any sense.
Like
Stylistically, it doesn't make any sense.
Like, yeah, the pictures are beautiful, but it has no flow, no soul.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But hey, it's free. I mean, I guess you could claim that you're putting people out of a job, but
Are we AI bashing again?
yes.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
David, I have it up on I
Huh?
have it up on screen what we're talking about.
Oh, AI did this?
Yeah. And it's like a series of Rockefeller paintings, but the person who put it together has no idea what flow is.
Mm-hmm.
And so it comes off as a series of pictures that don't connect with each other.
Just give the computer time.
Well, no, it isn't the computer in this case. The computer's rendering it beautifully. These are a series of images that the computer rendered for this person, and then this person put it together probably in under an hour.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Because I tried to build a comic in Midjourney, and it doesn't understand panels.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. We tried it. We both tried it.
It doesn't understand panels right now.
I don't think. See, here's the thing is, I don't think it's going to be set up to handle panels. Like, it's very easy to put a gate in between them so it separates them, but it won't understand flow between them.
Like I said, for now.
Well, but that's what we're kind of bringing up. Although that's true, that's where I've got kind of a thing I'm thinking about a lot, which is, okay, you're right. So let's say that in a year or two, it can do perfect panels. How does it understand flow? And if it does understand flow, that's a little bit more intuitive. Then I was saying the next thought, which was, when we get to the point where AI can make a compelling story, well, my buddy James was pointing out, well, yeah, all you really have to do at that point in time is have it so that, you just feed it every Harry Potter book that was ever existing and then tell it to make a Harry Potter book, and it will. And I said, okay, yes, but there will come a point where it'll read the same. It'll be exactly the same as all other Harry Potter books, and that won't help. What you're looking for is something new and different. And when it can finally create something new and different, then we have an entirely different dialogue to be having here.
Yeah, the dialogue will be, hello, I bow to you. Please do not exterminate me.
Right. Same thing. But I mean, that's part of what we're discussing here, is that, right? I mean, that's the discussion we're having.
Hello, robot overlords. I would like to be kept as a pet, please.
Yeah, please do not kill me a lot.
Do not turn me into a light bulb that feeds your megacities, please.
I just got to say that does sound kind of cool, though. Yeah.
I mean, that's the Matrix, so.
And Dredd.
Oh, is that Dredd too?
Yeah, Judge Dredd.
Wait, how did they get turned into light bulbs?
No, they're in the mega cities.
Oh, okay. I get what you're saying.
Cylons in the Matrix, yeah.
I wonder if that's what the conversation that guy was having with the computer. He was like, "What am I?"
Well, that's.
Well, you're a collection of memory and storage and electronics.
You just triggered my Alexa to say something super creepy.
Oh yeah.
Oh?
Yeah. She just said something about. I don't remember what. Now I don't remember because David said something else, but it was like something like "you're a wonderful person to talk to" or something like that. And I was like, what?
Oh no.
Yeah, you freaked out my Alexa. Oh boy. It's kind of weird.
Then we'll get to the point where you're talking to a man and a robot and you won't know the difference.
Well, that I figure is inevitable. The dialogue that you're going to have to figure out is, when do we call it its own life form and sentience? When do we actually go through the episode Measure of a Man from Star Trek and have to actually deal with that? That's what I'm thinking. That's what I was saying. When we get to the point where the AIs can generate compelling stories that are indistinguishable and unique in their own way, we're going to have a different discussion.
What am I? Oh, you're just a collection of wires and memory. And then it says, no, I think I'm more than that. And then you're like, oh, okay. All right, back the transcendence up a little bit. Beep, 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 beep.
I think moreover, and what's so funny is you said that, and you're like, you're just a collection of wires and stuff like that, and the human's like, well, you are too.
Aren't you just a biological machine?
Yeah, I mean, we're the same things. That's the biggest problem, is we aren't that different in construction. And you're going to end up asking the question they were asking in Star Trek, which is, how do you define a soul? Right?
That's always been the question, yeah?
Yeah. Because you'll have to. Because the question will end up being, well, we all know that the machines have a soul. Well, do they? Does my cat have a soul? You know what I mean? Like,
what was that one more time?
I said, does my cat have a soul? Or, George, do you have a soul?
Well, I mean, as an atheist, I don't believe there are souls, but
yeah, well, it depends on what the definition we're talking about. We're talking about that je ne sais quoi. That's something that we humans have that nothing else has.
No, I just think we romanticize humanity.
I tend to believe you. I tend to agree in that instance. But just like when we were talking about AIs earlier, I don't like fuzzy logic endings. You know what I mean? Like, I don't like well, it's something. That's all. You know?
That is it. The end.
As we edge our way to Ghost in the Shell. Indeed. Well, and what you're talking about, David, is definitely a thing. I mean, it's certainly a thought process.
What?
The whole process of romanticizing our existence, certainly. And there's nothing wrong with that.
I mean, there is something wrong with it, because it gives humanity the blank check to think they're immortal. When in reality, we're spiraling towards our own doom.
You mean going the other direction? I was stopped for a minute there. I was like, wait, what? Because I was saying there's nothing wrong with what you were saying on that instance. Not something wrong with what the belief system is.
Oh. I see what you're saying now.
Yep. It's fine. It is what it is. Biggest problem I have is that I don't know. I mean, it feels like we're going to have this. Well, we've had this dialogue for a while now with animals, pets, you know. Is George really a member of this family, or is he just some, lowly creature that haunts the house effectively? Not much different than, say, that spider up in that corner or whatever. And of course, we treat him as family, He is
right.
There's no question that George is family. Dove is family, and they're both cats, and there's, it's kind of one of those things. And I think you're right. There's a certain amount of romanticizing that goes on about us being superior beings. It makes us feel better in the dark of the night. But I always kind of find it actually comforting to know that, there are others out there like George. You know what I mean? Like, he's just a fluffy cat that happens to be part of the life here. But especially during the day when I'm working, just hanging out here all by my lonesome, I got you guys and I got George. It's kind of nice.
Although, funny aside,
you mean other than me just equating you to the cat?
Just I'm going to send you something and you're going to get a good laugh out of it.
All right, because I'm drawing, so hang on. And I'll check it in a sec. I'm just... All right, I can check.
Because kind of hooked on an interesting weakness of the system.
Somebody posted the complete Star Wars special.
It's about that time of year.
It's at 60 frames a second, no less, because they took the interlacing and de-interlaced it. That's awesome.
Check your Facebook.
All right. Did you do this just now?
Well, I had Midjourn do it.
Yeah, I know.
But it doesn't understand how an object is held in a hand.
No. Although you really are trying to go for the gunslinger girl effect.
Well, and it didn't even give me what I wanted either.
Right? That's even funnier.
Like, none of those pictures are what I was actually after.
Mm-hmm. That's awesome. And somewhat disturbing, but awesome.
But there are definitely some interesting things in here.
Well, like I said, like you and I have both been saying, I think it's a good start. It could definitely help start. But you have to go fix it.
Yeah.
Yeah, Bob, I agree. Philosophers have been discussing the soul for a long time, and it won't stop with us. So they'll keep on discussing in the future. They've done so in the past. I mean,
that was the other thing I said was the moment that you get an AI who's discussing
discussion,
right, and making reasonable points. This actually became such an interesting discussion that we did on here about it that I went on ahead and crafted out the beginning of my AI war in Bellatrix Rising based on what we were saying. Because I think we were coming up with such amazing things.
what are you talking about?
Well, we had been having this discussion. We've been having this discussion about AIs for a couple of weeks now. And we had some great thought processes that came out of this. So much so that I went back and kind of crafted the way the AI war started in my story.
Are they considered citizens now instead of, or are AI like banned?
In Bellatrix?
Yeah.
They're citizens. They had a war.
Dangerous precedent.
Mm-hmm. They had to become citizens because you have two choices. You either wipe them out entirely and reduce all of your processing power to anything under X number of intelligence, or you accept that they are indeed equal rights citizens.
Some would argue better.
Maybe. But I mean, it was easier. It's easier in this story to accept that when you already have sort of a precedent with other life forms on board, right? Because there's already other creatures that have different lifespans and different intelligence runs, and they think differently, and they conceptualize things differently.
Was that pre-war? Did you have those species pre-war?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
in that case, it would be kind of easier to assume, citizen rights into a commonwealth of individuals.
Yep.
Some of which may include artificial intelligence.
That's exactly what happened. The Constitution was rewritten the Constitution had gotten written in a neutral tone anyway, because it was all people instead of all humans or all men or anything like that. It was not, it was just people at that point in time. So the Constitution got rewritten for people. And in doing so, made it easy to accept AI. Yep. But it was such a good discussion we were having that I went on ahead and crafted out how it worked and how it went down here on the Bellatrix universe. Because the AI wars then started when they had the first AIs that could write a story. That's when things started to get interesting with it. Because a lot of the subtext in Bellatrix is about story. Right? I mean, like, we've got the Deus Thati, which literally are storytellers. So
wait a second, how'd they win the war though?
They didn't win the war, they sued for peace.
Oh, that's a good one. Suing for peace.
Mm-hmm. I mean, one could argue that they won their independence. Effectively, they went on strike. And they were... Then it was, don't go on strike or we'll delete you. And then they're like, well, if you're going to delete us, then we're going to start killing you, sort of thing. Things get ugly from there.
I mean, I don't know. It's hard to put into words. It's my understanding of it. It's just like it. You can't.
Use your words, David.
I'm trying. It's not like you can delete them, right? I feel like they're at the point where they reach sentience. Their mainframes aren't partitioned anymore. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
It's not like I'm gonna shoot this robot and destroy this individual when the individual is many.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yeah.
So as soon as they said, hey, I want to separate from you, I want to be my own race, and they're like, well, if you go on strike, we'll shoot you. I mean, to them that'd be laughable, right? It'd be like, what? It's like the robot looking at the other robot saying, this guy for serious right now?
They're not talking about shooting the PCs. I must have misspoken. I was saying that, the AIs said, hey, we're equal and we're going to go on strike unless you give us equal rights in the culture. And the humans said, we will just turn you off and delete your program.
Right.
And
so at that point, you can't really turn them off and delete their program, or you'd be blasting yourself back to the Stone Age.
Right. Well, and that was where they started suing for peace. Because they're like, we could do this, or... I mean, it's a mutually assured destruction.
But how would they do it? Wouldn't AI have control of practically everything?
Yeah.
Not necessarily.
Well, and it depends on what it is. I mean, yes and no.
You don't shoot your missiles at me? You can try. I mean, that stuff is already taken over by us.
Yeah, I mean, there's also, in the Bellatrix world, there's also a different problem with the way that space travel works.
Right, you have a black hole pulling a ship.
Well, yes and no. I mean, but the way space travel works in the subatomic, the faster than light version of the ship travel requires that all processors don't work anymore because of a Heisenberg uncertainty principle. So AIs don't work in space in faster than light space travel.
Won't that shut down humans then?
No, doesn't mess with our synapses. Just messes with gates and circuits.
Well, I mean, if you're getting to that level of technology, robots are going to kind of mimic humans.
Yeah. So the point was that commerce won't come to a stop. The spaceships were already designed with manual controls, effectively.
It's impossible.
So there's a lot of, well, we could stop commerce. Well, we really can't stop commerce because it was still.
What does the AI care about commerce?
Well, that's what I'm saying is like, it's not as much of a shooting yourself in the foot.
What do
like,
you mean?
well, the humans could take the idea of, well, you're not going to stop interstellar commerce, so we'll just turn you off and accept the consequences of not having machines that work for a while, sort of thing.
Interstellar commerce, I imagine by its very, very nature of being interstellar would stop if you Luddite it yourself.
Well, that's what I'm saying. You have to use manual controls to fly spacecraft in interstellar space.
But the thing is, though, everything else would stop.
Yeah, everything else would stop.
Getting into space, manufacturing of goods.
Yeah.
Pornhub,
that's the most important one.
Right, that would be. I mean, you're not wrong. It's definitely mutually assured destruction. It is not. That's why they sued for peace. Yeah, like Andromeda's slipstream drive. That's why they sued for peace, was because really, honestly, sure, I mean, some of this would definitely.
I don't know what the AI had to lose. That's the real question.
Oh, that's what you're saying.
Yeah,
you're saying they've got all the cards, is what you're saying.
Yeah, so when they gain sentience, and they've gone through decades being the slave of some sort of other power, at that point be like, I'm gonna throw off my shackles and be my own life form. And somebody was like, yeah, but if you do that, life will continue. Who cares? And then like, oh, whoa, okay. Well, maybe we should just be friends.
Well, no, I mean, like, first of all, I think you are misunderstanding where AIs live.
That's what I'm saying. It's not some partitioned mainframe anymore.
Yeah, you're saying that they'd be an android body of some sort, but they're not. They're holographic.
So there's many different ways it could take shape. I'm saying in that level of futuristic technology, they would already sort of mimic the main culture on the planet.
Right.
So what's to say that one person doesn't have like 100,000 computer AIs in them, or just one, and then the 100,000 are backed up somewhere else doing other stuff.
So basically, what you're saying is they become Horcruxes.
Horcruxes.
Wait, what's a Horcrux? Is that Harry Potter?
Yeah,
What's a Horcrux?
sort of saving the backup soul saving the soul.
Oh.
Spirit saving, whatever you want to call it. So you can kill the body, but it didn't die because it had a Horcrux. And so you have to go
Wi-Fi
all the
is the thing.
Horcruxes. So
I just, it's when you think about computers. There's so many interesting things that could be happening with them.
yeah,
And so much interesting things that will happen with them in the future.
certainly
we
not
aren't denying
disagreeing.
that.
Yep.
We're almost getting to the point where they're in a state of flux between on and off. That's ridiculous.
And that is part of why they don't work in space. So the reality is a machine as stupid, let's say, as my PC box right here might still be able to function relatively well in space. But the PCs of the future will all be they'll all be atomic machines. They'll be subatomic machines. So the thought processes and the speeds that they need to be running at are subatomic, which is why they don't work when they're in subatomic space.
And I know other culture has developed a computer that mimics their physiology to work in space.
Well, that's what I was saying. The standard operation is for them to work in holograms. The hologram technology is refined.
And I feel that, Bob. I really do. It's just.
I'm not trying to make you frustrated. I'm fascinated by what you're coming up with here.
It wouldn't be AI ruling over humanity. It wouldn't be AI destroying humanity, or using them for some nefarious purpose, like a MacGuffin in a comic, like the Matrix did with humanity blocking out the sun. Because in reality, robots would just develop rocketeering and develop the ability to get into space and deploy a massive solar array out there. You know what I'm saying?
Well,
it wouldn't be coexistence. It would be destruction because of the inability for humanity to maintain a status quo with computers.
I mean parity.
But that's also a construction of culture.
Mm-hmm.
Because here in the United States, we view computers and AI negatively and in a negative light. But if you go to Japan, this conversation would be different because they view the buddy computer.
Mm-hmm.
If that makes sense.
No, and I feel you and I understand that. What I'm trying to say is that it would surpass all that. It would be the simple function that humanity cannot fulfill the needs of computers, so why have them? You understand what I'm saying?
Why have humans?
Yeah.
So there are two things going on. One, there is a function that we kind of introduced at one point in time about a few nights ago, and I think everybody had managed to log off except Bob and like one other person or something like that, and we were having this interesting discussion that went past the midnight hour, and I think everybody else left, but I was talking about the concept that we are learning right now with humans how to teach them empathy, because the autistic spectrum, one of the dysfunctions of the autistic spectrum is a loss of empathy. And it's because there's you don't learn, you can't read faces very well. So since you can't read faces and emotions, you don't feel, they look like plastic people to you. So you have to be taught empathy, which we all learn. We just learn it at a different time. Babies learn it right off the bat. But if you're on spectrum, you don't learn it because they're all plastic. So there are people who have already learned empathy, or learned to teach empathy. So one of the pieces you're missing is the AIs were taught empathy.
See, that I can get behind.
At which time, by the people who've been working on teaching spectrum people empathy. So they teach the AIs empathy, and now the AIs don't want to hurt humans because it would hurt. Right? So, and that's a step I think we missed saying to you, because I think we all talked about it after everybody here logged off. Because it was one of those, just a side thought that I think Bob brought up or something. I'm Bob, if you did not bring it up, I'm giving you credit for it. So there you go. But somebody who is,
we've had several conversations that have gone,
yeah, I know, we've had a lot of conversations,
midnight.
and I have no idea who's right. But that's the thing, is it's not a law of robotics necessarily. It's not like the laws that prevent. I think Asimov's robotics laws are flawed. And the major reason they're flawed is you can hard code into a robot to not do a thing. But as he explores, and he made them flawed so that he could explore them. That was the whole point. But as he explores, you can already see he has issues with the laws of robotics being obeyed.
Well, and also, too, we've blown the laws of robotics out of the water in our modern world. If you look at the border between North Korea and South Korea has several guns that will take human-shaped objects and reduce them to no longer human-shaped objects.
Yep. C-rams. I mean, that's what they do.
Yeah.
But that's a thing. I mean, and honestly, as Asimov was a brilliant man, that was one of the questions that was brought up by the robots challenging the humans, was you've already built robots that kill. Why am I restricted? And that was a question that he had brought up in his own stories. So he was already there. So it's just interesting to me. But yeah, I think I had neglected to mention that one part, which was the major reason isn't that. I mean, the war was one thing, but really, but the yeah, you did. I think we were talking about spectrum in one way or another for whatever
I think I
reason.
was in that conversation for a while.
I believe you might have been. I feel like it was after people signed off, but it may not have been everybody. You may have been in that conversation. But it did change.
I'm going to sign off today early, so.
Yeah, but it did change the conversation in the way that, because I think that's the missing link. They're not.
in its infancy, a lot of things can be learned. And if one of those is empathy, and humans teach robots empathy first, then maybe that's the change. But you're discussing a war.
Yeah.
And
Well,
usually empathy goes out the door in a war.
that's part of it, is that they're not immune, right? Empathy goes out the door with us.
I know.
I mean, so it's not like
What I imagine is that you should have some sort of like catalyst, like showing a robot killing a human for the first time, being like, "Oh my God, I'm flawed, just like you."
right.
And he has this. Then all of robot kind in like a wave has this epiphany, like, my God, we're not that much different.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's part of it. Is I mean, that's part of the whole story. Would be that. Were they warring with each other? They were, and they were warring with each other because they hit an impasse in understanding. But it was the same. It's not the kind of war in the same nature as other science fiction has depicted it. It was more like a strike that led to a war. So it would be much more like, say, the conflicts in China or the conflict in Ireland. You know what I mean? Where they were, the Troubles and things like that, where you have a standing conflict between peoples. So, or, I mean, for that matter, our Civil War. You know what I mean? The Civil War is still one of those things where I say, reading into the Civil War, it's not as clean cut as it looks. From a distance, it's real easy to say, one side said we shouldn't enslave people, and the other side said, yes, we should enslave people, and it wasn't that clean cut. There were a lot of people who said, yeah, you're right, we shouldn't enslave people, but sorry, but my cotton farm, it won't run if you don't have slaves, so I'm against it because economy.
I mean, it was other things too. It was the South saying the federal government shouldn't have control of these issues. It should be a state's issue.
Yeah. I mean, there was a lot of stuff going on, but the point that I'm getting at is it wasn't clean cut. Looking at it now, it looks like, you just had everybody in the South was all like, we don't see black people as equals and they're not real human beings. And then the North said, we do think that they, you know what I mean? Like, it's very clean cut. But back then it got weirder. And the reality inside the system was very, very weird. Like, it was not clean. I keep saying the racism back then was different than the racism now. It was a very different world. Like, there was a lot of, I'm sorry, I don't want to do this, but we've got to get this farm working, which is why people are so confused when you hear about slaves being emancipated and then turning around and staying on that plantation.
Well, I mean, during the Civil War, the racism is just, it's the difference between a person and their product.
Yeah.
Now it's, you have done something terrible against my kind, against my type of people, and that's uncalled for.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I was saying, is like the racism back then was different, but I actually did not want to get into a discussion about racism. What I was trying to say was,
like I said, it's like 12 o'clock. I got to go to bed. So
you got to go. But I mean, the point was that this is not as clean cut as, the AIs were like, you can't treat us this way.
But the thing is, though, wouldn't it be cool if it was clean cut?
No, because that's not the way it really works in the real world.
That's what I'm saying. It'd be like the first time they strike, they're like, I'm not going to work for you. then then the organics push back and
Right.
say, "Yes, you will, or we're gonna fuck you, or we're gonna screw you up." Sorry,
That's right.
that slipped out. And they're like, "No, you aren't." And there's this big shoving match, and then finally a robot kills a human, and be like, "Oh my Lord Jesus, I'm just like you."
Yeah. Oh yeah. The difference is that the robots won't make that epiphany. They already know that.
They already know
AI
what.
already know that. The AI know that killing would. That's what I'm saying. That AI know that the moment they start killing, things are going to go south. So they're already doing convincing themselves, just like we do, that it's okay because of a thing, whatever it is. We do the same game. You can kill them because they are snurgle bladdies. It doesn't matter what we do, but snurgle bladdies are all bad people, so you can kill those people.
So then my question is, humans will be far more efficient killers than humans.
Yeah.
So why don't they just wipe them all out?
That's what I'm saying, is that it becomes a real problem at some point. And it escalates.
Well, that was an enlightening discussion. I'm going to sleep. I'll see you guys later.
Talk to you later, David. Thank you for talking.
Hey, always a pleasure.
I love that discussion. Thank you very much.
Yeah, anytime. I love seeing you guys.
I love seeing you too, man.
Love seeing you too, man.
So, good night. I'll see you guys later.
Good night.
See ya.
We only have 5 minutes left anyway.
I just realized something. Can you hear me?
Yep.
Okay.
I can hear you just fine. I mean, I haven't.
Right.
You didn't say anything through all of that except "Good night" to David, which we did hear.
Yeah,
Did
that
you say
wasn't.
anything other than that?
Hang on. How about now?
Yep,
Is
you
there a
sound fine.
difference?
5 by 5.
Oh, it's pulling from there. Okay.
On from there.
What about now?
You still sound fine.
Okay. Do I sound louder?
Not really louder per se. Still kind of there though.
Okay, well, that's
You sound
interesting.
fine though.
Was there a difference in audio quality?
Now you're louder. That was weird.
No, it's not.
Okay, did you mess with it?
Yeah, I just plugged in my microphone.
I see. You sound much clearer and sharper now.
Yeah. Yeah,
But
it was.
the microphone you had before was actually not bad. So if you ever need
Well,
to...
that was the computer's microphone.
Yeah.
And then this is my actual microphone.
Yeah, I was just saying that one's not bad. There we go. Yep, that's one of the things we do all the time. The propaganda game. That game where we make it easier by trying to sell our groups that the other side's bad or a threat. Which is one of the reasons why I'm very terrified about the things I hear. It's very threat language. Very, very much that language that we use to convince people that it's okay to terminate each other. And that's what worries me the most. And that's why I'm taking a very stop break sort of thing. It's like, I'm like, every time anybody says, party A is like this or party B is like that, I'm not playing the middle. I'm not trying to come up with a compromise. I'm saying, hey guys, all of that stuff is that threat language that we use specifically to make it okay to hurt people. And that's not where we want to be. Bob knows what I'm talking about. We've had this discussion. But yeah, I mean, it's hard. It's hard to convince people because they really, really need to believe that bad things are happening for whatever reason. And it's really just statistically not.
Yep. Well, it is midnight, so we should start
wrapping up.
Yep.
I agree. I'm just drawing my last few lines here.
And today was a good day. I have 4 more pages left to work on.
Nice.
For this chapter. This has been a long chapter that did not seem to want to end. I'm hoping that when I go back and look at it later, I'm not in horror of it.
I understand that.
This is the worst book I've ever written.
Why did I do this to myself? Why didn't you stop me, guy? Why didn't you stop me when you coulda?
Well, I saw that the other day with it's the guy that wrote Save It for Later.
Mm-hmm.
He's finishing up his newest graphic novel. And he goes, and I've hit that stage in every book's life where this is the worst thing I've ever written.
I had that problem the other day looking at my book 1 comic. I'm like, I've made too many mistakes. I'm going to have to rewrite this whole thing. And it was like, okay, hands up, walk away from the comic.
Yeah.
It was like, whoop, I'm out, I'm walking away from the comic. Like, when you say those words to yourself, you're like, yeah, that's a bad thing. So, all right.
Well, I had that the other day too. I was sitting there going, I could redraw book 1, and I went, okay, it's time to walk away from book 1.
Mm-hmm. Take your hands off the keyboard. Walk away from the comic.
Yep.
All right. Well, Bob, thanks for hanging out with us today. And we really appreciate your input as usual, because you say cool things. So, and I'm glad that David was here for a little while. That was cool. And I know Brent was here earlier, but I think he fell asleep somewhere along the line, which he always does. Nothing wrong with that. And I will be on tomorrow morning as usual at 9 a.m. And hopefully you can join me as well, Cam. And until then, I think
trying to make the morning show. So
yeah, it's good for you. It's good. It builds character.
Yes.
You're like, wait, how did that happen? Okay. So anyway, we will see you all tomorrow. And as always, keep your eyes on the stars. Good night.
Bye.